other heavy showers and storms within this band, by the way, that arc up right up through Duval and Baker County. Any of these could start to rotate at any time, too. But this is the one that's been giving us the most concern. It's moving to the immediate west-southwest of the World Gulf Village, very near Mirabella now, headed into Silverleaf, and then into northern portions of Duval County. The circulation, there it is, now at about, that's Highway 16
and 13.
And 13, that's right, yeah, 16 and 13, just west of the World Gulf Village, a little bit west-northwest of the outlet malls, and that'll head north-northwest now. Corey, putting the arrival times of this possible tornado, but definitely a circulation here into Elwood at 5:59, Silverleaf at 6:01, Creekside High School neighborhood at 6:07, Durbin at 6:07, of course, an area that has so much more development in the last 10 years than it's ever had. Julington Creek at about 6:09. So moving into highly populated areas now. It is not a tornado on the ground. We had this with Debbie back in early August, where you have tornadoes indicated on radar. Sometimes they touch the ground in the end, sometimes they do not. But once a tornado warning is issued, we stay on the air unless that danger has passed. You're looking here toward that cell from Orange Park on our First Alert Skycam network. This is looking toward the southeast, so the wind is blowing into the camera around that circulation of Helene. It's coming out of the southeast here across the St. Johns River. Now, this is quite a long ways away, this possible tornado at this point, so we're not going to see the tornado. But you can see some of the rain that has already occurred with the raindrops on the lens from the Skycam here at this location along the St. Johns River. And we'll keep an eye on that camera because this storm will be getting closer. And there you can see the storms arcing all the way into northern parts of Columbia County with a good deal of lightning and heavy rain. We'll have to watch those for a circulation too. And then another storm has come up and is approaching St. Augustine. And that one has got kind of a suspicious look to it as well, and may also have a little bit of a circulation that we're going to want to watch. Heads up St. Augustine. I don't like the looks of that one, Corey. And there is a lightning strike with our tornadic thunderstorm now that's moving through northern portions of St. Johns County, moving north-northwest at 45 to 50 miles per hour. Be prepared for very fast movement as these storms move to the north-northwest. Producer, just telling my ear, on I-95 and Highway 16, was that?
Yes.
And what is it exactly? A roof on a tractor trailer been ripped off. Okay, good shot here. Unfortunate for the semi. Now, we don't know what caused this. Can't tell if it was an accident or if it was wind. I'm sorry, again, producers, the location... Is it Anne Marie in the
State Road 16? It is Anne Marie. Control
room now. State Highway 16 and I-95.
Yes.
So the exact area that we've been tracking for the last 10 to 15 minutes and have been timing to. It's a good question. Our director's asking, is this part of the ripped-off trailer scorched, as in burned, or is it just dirty? And burned would, of course, imply that something else happened here. But something obviously has happened here at Highway 16 and I-95. We see another truck that stopped there, and I believe it was the driver of that truck that ran across, probably to check on the driver of this particular semi. So traffic seems to not be impeded a great deal here. There's the exit ramp that can get through, and the traffic that's going here by the incident is flowing and moving right along. Let's just hope the driver's okay, but we do have some damage here to a semi from something. We just don't know exactly what it was, but this circulation did move very near that area, Corey.
Yeah, a couple of things, Mike. One, the tornado warning has been canceled. The National Weather Service has let it go.
Okay.
These things can come up and ramp down very quickly. Also, I think it's fair to point out the circulation that we were tracking, I believe, was mainly to the west of I-95 and State Road 16.
Yep, good point.
Doesn't mean that's not weather-related. We don't know yet. But the circulation, if there was a tornado, that was to the west of State Road 16. It was, or west of I-95. That was pretty close to I-95. But I don't think that... I don't think if we had a tornado that it went over I-95, Mike.
And on Highway 16, at that interchange. And there may have been high winds at the very least, though, as that cell was moving north-northwestbound. You could have had a burst of winds. We'll continue to track these cells and see what's happening there at Highway 16 and I-95. We also have the cell moving in on St. Augustine. There are no other tornado warnings in effect at the moment. But this cell near St. Augustine certainly bears careful watching and then arcs its way all the way back to Baker County. And a tornado watch is in effect, means that conditions are favorable for severe storms and tornadoes at just about any time. So we'll wrap it up here from the First Alert Weather Center for now, since no tornado warnings are any longer in effect. There's plenty more of at times severe weather to go through this evening and overnight. We'll keep you updated, of course, round the clock.
Tornado warnings, high winds, and heavy rain. Hurricane Helene is carving her path towards Florida right now.
With this storm really hitting primarily into the evening and overnight, we really are going to have to monitor that.
Our storm reporters are in the elements talking to people who are preparing for the worst.
As a hurricane veteran, this is going to be a bad one.
What is your biggest concern?
That the roofs will be blown off.
Our team coverage of Helene continues now with Action News Jax at 6. And Action News Jax is live team coverage for you as we continue to track Helene all across our viewing area. We're in Lake City, Waycross, and here in Jacksonville. But we're going to start things off with the First Alert Weather Team. They were just on air tracking severe weather in St. Johns County.
Yeah, we saw them for the last 20 or 25 minutes or so tell us about that tornado warning in St. John's. That has gone away, fortunately, but we are still monitoring situations all across our viewing area, including Lake City, where people are bracing for Helene. That's where Ben Ryan is now live. Ben, what do you have?
Yeah, Ben, we've been in Lake City for the last hour and a half, 2 hours or so, and honestly, throughout this entire time, we've been just driving around, and we've seen a lot of businesses start to board up their front areas with either just wood pallets or even metal. So take a look off to my left. This is a Winn-Dixie here in the middle of Lake City. You can see it's completely boarded up with the metal going across all the windows and the front doors as well. We also saw a couple different pharmacies that had sandbags at the bottom of their entrances there, too. The First Alert Weather Team telling me that this area will see some significant sustained winds of roughly 50 to 70 miles per hour with gusts at least 75 to 85 miles per hour as the core of Helene moves nearby. So certainly the emergency management, they are aware, they're ready for damage as well, anything that could come from this storm. And I was talking to a neighbor a little bit earlier at a gas station, which was completely packed, by the way. He said he just started preparing for the storm not too long ago. Take a listen.
Storm, getting water, fuel, whatever I can get right now. Everything's closed. Hunker down with the family, man. Get ready, and hopefully everything will be all right.
And he had a case of water with him. He had a little bit of Diet Coke there as well. So he was just ready, like he said, hunkered down with the family. He said where he is specifically, it's a little bit low-lying, so every now and then it does flood. So he's just hoping for the best. Now, the First Alert Weather Team saying that the worst time frame, if you will be roughly 9 p.m. to 3 o'clock in the morning here for Lake City. We're going to be here throughout the night. We'll let you know what happens at 10:11 on Action News Jax. For local coverage, you can count on I'm Ben Ryan, Action News Jax.
All right, our team coverage of Helene takes us now to Waycross. That's where we find Annette Gutierrez live. Annette, this is one area expected to get the brunt of the storm as it heads north.
And Ben, the weather feels pretty nice right now. We have some cloudy skies. It's overcast, but don't let this good weather fool you because it's expecting to receive some of the most significant impacts from this storm, especially from high winds and potential tornadoes. I actually have my little nifty gadget here to kind of see what we're experiencing as far as wind goes. And right now it's around 5 miles per hour. But our First Alert Weather Team says that Waycross could have wind gusts from up to 65 to 75 miles per hour and even 80 miles per hour for some folks. Now, if you take a look behind me, you can actually see that Walmart put up some of their own forms of barriers that looks like cardboard in front of the glass doors to keep some of that wind shear from going in. And actually across, because this area is shut down, we actually saw some folks across the street over here to Dollar Tree and Five Below to get some last minute items. I spoke with one gentleman who says he's pretty familiar with storms, but he says he needed to get some last minute items to prepare as necessary.
Well, I'm having with batteries, food, water, clothes. Got my bag pipe, car gassed up. Just hoping we be all right and just hoping the rain don't come and the wind don't come too much.
Are you worried at all about this storm?
Yeah, I'm worried about this storm, but I'm trusting in the good Lord.
And of course, for those who may need shelter, the Waycross Police Department has opened up its courtroom located at 512 Oak Street. It will be open until noon tomorrow. And if you haven't already, officials are advising you to download the city's app and then sign up for the code red notifications. I've actually done that so I can stay up to date for whether there is any tornadoes in our area as they foresee them. And of course, Action News Jax will be here in Waycross up until tomorrow. So stay with us and we'll give you all of the live weather updates. But for now, for local coverage you can count on, reporting live in Waycross, Annette Gutierrez, Action News Jax.
And to give you an idea how serious the situation is, in Taylor County, the sheriff's office put out this note saying that they want people who are staying put, this is the Perry area, to put a permanent marker to put their name, birthday, and important information on their body by using permanent marker, just in case something bad was to happen. And Florida Governor Ron DeSantis is holding a news conference right now giving an update on Hurricane Helene. DeSantis warned people about evacuations and how some parts of Florida could still have time to take shelter.
Because the storm isn't going to get here till a little later, we're going to see some effects soon. But right now, you actually still have time to be able to evacuate. If you're here in North Florida, if you're in one of those areas, you see the potential for the storm surge, you still have time to do it. So we would encourage you to heed those evacuation orders as appropriate in your local area.
Team coverage continues now with Action News Jax Emily Turner. She's live in Northwest Jacksonville. And Emily, a tree already down in that area.
Yeah, it actually fell down into a power line. You can see crews working right here behind me. It fell into the power line, which then basically cut power for about 50 customers here in Northwest Jacksonville. The tree itself, I can show you the stump of it. You can see the bottom of it right there. I was told by crews that this tree actually grew into that one right there that's still standing. There's a big hole at the base of it. So they're worried this second oak potentially could then fall into the power line as well, but they've got to fix what's happening right now over here on this side of the road. You can see what's left of the original tree that fell down. They've cut it, gotten it out of the way so that the crews can at least do their work, but they not only have to replace the power line, they have to replace the power pole itself, because when that tree fell down into the line, it broke the power pole. You can kind of see where that bottom cable attaches. Well, that's where the power pole is broken, so they're going to have to replace the entire pole in addition to putting these lines back up. And in the meantime, it happened about 4 o'clock. We have there are about 50 customers, they say, that are without power at this point still. Again, they're going to be working to get this back up and running so that folks here can be with power, and they're also going to be keeping an eye on that tree, hoping that it doesn't fall down. I'm sure this is just going to be the first of many trees that come tumbling down through the night as the winds start to pick up, and we'll be out in the field making sure we bring you the very latest on all of it. Reporting live from Northwest Jacksonville, Emily Turner, Action News Jax.
And we are at least 4 hours away from landfall, and the city's already seeing some water crashing onto sidewalks. Action News Jax Robert Grant is in Riverside, keeping an eye on things there.
Yeah, Tanika, sidewalks and also the roads here. The city says this is really that peak window, and they're going to be paying a close attention for the next couple of hours here as storm surge brings water from the St. Johns River up and over that seawall. Now, to give you a little bit of reference here, been watching this for about 3 hours or so now. When we were first here, it was completely dry. Now that water almost entirely covering the road, and you can see just how choppy the St. Johns River is as well, especially with the wind picking up in Riverside. And neighbors around here are taking that threat seriously. From spectators,
it's crazy that it's this rough,
to concerned neighbors.
The water just coming up.
Many eyes are on the St. Johns River, as storm surge could create some issues in neighborhoods like Ortega, Riverside, and San Marco. High tide on the river downtown hits at 6:43, but the impacts could linger. The city is watching a peak from 6 until 8 tonight, then again in the morning. Neighbors are doing the same.
Just getting the cars off the road, trying to get them more on higher ground.
The city says it has swift water rescue teams in place both downtown and over in St. Nicholas if needed. Hundreds of linemen are also on standby with the wind threatening to knock down trees and power lines, something Mayor Donna Deegan says crews will watch for throughout the night.
With this storm really hitting primarily into the evening and overnight, we really are going to have to monitor that.
For some, Jacksonville is a safe place, like hurricane refugee Diane Thompson, who arrived yesterday from her hometown in Tallahassee.
As a hurricane veteran, knowing this is going to be a bad one, and Tallahassee is a city carved out of the forest, and there are so many trees.
Now, I mentioned the wind picking up around here as well. That's really the main concern for the city of Jacksonville. You just saw Emily there with that live shot, the tree down over there. Hundreds of linemen also on standby right now as power outages are expected to happen and continue throughout the night and overnight. For local coverage you can count on in Riverside, I'm Robert Grant, Action News Jax.
I'm Action News Jax Chief Meteorologist Mike Burrish. Really good visualization there with Robert. At high tide downtown now with some heavier rain bands moving through, so causing at least some of that water to spill over the banks into parts of downtown. The winds only get stronger through this evening and overnight, and will continue to track more frequent bands of heavy rain and storms from Helene as we track the hurricane into Florida in your first alert forecast in minutes.
Living in Florida. The one thing we know for certain is the United States is going to be one intense place this fall. So we thought, what better time to hit the road and see the country? And we're going to this fall. From coast to coast, we're going on a live tour with a bunch of friends of ours who you will recognize. We're going to be live on stage responding to everything that is happening in real time. It's going to be fun and interesting and a great way to spend your fall. So I hope you'll join us.
It's more than a business. It's a relationship. We feel the same way. Local Solutions is your personal partner for all of your integrated marketing needs. Local Solutions powered by Cox Media Group. Strategic, trusted solutions.
Stay tuned for a special free offer from Flash Force Tactical Flashlight. With its powerful telescopic zoom, the Flash Force Tactical Flashlight gives you a super bright light visible at a distance of over 2,000 meters. With 7 useful modes, plus a USB rechargeable battery, the Flash Force Tactical Flashlight is always ready to light up the night. And if you scan the code on your screen and order right now, we'll send you a second Flash Force Tactical Flashlight absolutely free. Hurry, this is a limited time offer. Scan the code on your screen to order now.
Say hello to the Cob Gobbler, the effortless corn stripper. That's cream of the crop. With its ergonomic design, peeling corn has never been easier. Crafted from solid, rust-proof stainless steel, the Cob Gobbler is built to last.
I love the Cob Gobbler. Totally changed my salad game.
I used my Cob Gobbler so much I bought 3 more. It shucks great.
Elevate any dish with freshly shucked corn. It's quick, simple to use, and easy to clean. Scan the code for an exclusive discount.
We all love recipes with garlic, but trying to use an awkward garlic press makes a smelly mess. Introducing the Great Garlic, your ultimate kitchen companion for effortlessly crushing garlic to perfection. Just place a peeled clove of garlic under the grate, rock it back and forth, and say goodbye to tedious chopping and messy mincing. The Great Garlic ensures consistent results every time. Scan the code on your screen to order your Great Garlic today. This is a limited time offer, so scan now and find out for yourself just how great the Great Garlic is.
If you use a pen, the Pen Tool Pro is a must-have multifunction creative gadget, perfect for every workspace.
It has a ruler, level, screw bit, ballpoint pen, and a stylus for touchscreen devices.
5 functional tools, all in one convenient place. A must-have for any creator.
From concept to creation, the Pen Tool Pro is your versatile companion, simplifying your workflow, putting the focus on what truly matters, your creativity. Scan the code to order the Pen Tool Pro while supplies last.
Scan the code on your screen.
Brought to you by Closets by Design. Imagine your home completely organized.
And here's a look at the Howard Franklin Bridge connecting Tampa to Clearwater. This is a live look. Tanika, we've been looking at this bridge all afternoon, and that camera's bouncing around. You see the waves hitting it, and earlier cars are driving on this.
Yeah, and then we saw law enforcement clearing the bridge, seemingly keeping people off. The conditions just getting worse there. Helene, now a major Category 3 storm projected to make landfall near Apalachicola in Florida's Panhandle.
Right, and expected to become a Category 4 at some point. Actually, Jack's Michael Yoshida is in Steinhatchee as state officials change their messaging from evacuate to shelter in place.
Every minute that goes by brings us closer to having conditions that are going to be simply too dangerous to navigate.
The National Weather Service is using another term, unsurvivable. When it comes to the storm surge, Helene is expected to unleash on parts of the Florida coast in the coming hours.
If it's 20 feet like they're saying, it's going to change the landscape in Franklin County, I can assure you that.
Franklin and Taylor counties are in Helene's expected landfall zone. But for much of Florida's Gulf Coast, mandatory evacuations have been in place since Wednesday. with state and local officials imploring residents, leave while you can.
Some people have made decisions that they're going to hunker down, even though they were requested to leave.
Regardless of that, the governor says rescue crews are standing by.
If there's people that are going to be in distress, we're going to be there to be able to assist in those efforts.
Their message now, survival.
If you hear trees snapping around your home, treat it like a tornado. Get to an interior portion of your home, get as low as you can.
And silence, officials warn, doesn't mean safe.
What that actually means is you're in the eye of the hurricane. All right? Do not go out and survey damage.
An eye that could be up to 50 miles wide with more catastrophic conditions less than an hour behind it. Helene is expected to roar up the southeastern U.S., with impacts felt as far north as D.C. in the days ahead. Right now, along with Florida, Georgia, the Carolinas, and Virginia are under a state of emergency.
Yeah, the flooding in and around Tampa is something, and we saw that bridge, and even the camera now, not even stable. It was a pretty still shot for the longest.
And Helene's still a ways off.
100 miles plus away from Tampa, and Tampa's dodging a bullet. I hate to use that term, but getting lucky this time around again. And having said that, there's plenty of water going into Tampa, plenty of surge. There are tornado warnings. The true bands of Helene are in the Tampa area. The ones that we're getting are kind of loosely organized around the very outside of Helene right now.
Still organized enough, though, to bring us heavy rain, some gusty winds, and tornado warnings that we have been tracking and will be into tonight.
Yeah, we have some suspicious cells still on radar right now. So we take a look at the first alert weather day that's in effect as we continue to see bands of heavy rain and storms, strong winds. Tornadoes are our biggest concern. Those two items. There'll be brief downpours. It'll pour. It'll look like a hurricane for a while, but the total rainfall amounts won't be near as high as you might think. On average, kind of a 1, maybe 2-inch rainfall for Jacksonville. You get north and west, the amounts will be higher, closer to the eye, and there will be very quick improvement tomorrow, as nasty as it will get this evening and overnight. And it will sound pretty intense for a while. We'll be here throughout the entire night to keep you updated, keep you calm, and let you know exactly what is happening, or as some cases might be, what is not. But Helene has indeed intensified. Winds are now at 130 miles per hour. It's a Category 4 hurricane. That's an update. Yeah. This just came in from the National Hurricanes. Helene has just gone Cat 4. Winds at 130 miles per hour. It has increased its forward speed as expected, north-northeast at 23 miles per hour. Pressure continues to drop. And yeah, it is still strengthening. Look at the storms that are firing up in the eye wall. This is not going to go down anytime soon. What we could see happen later this evening is an eye wall replacement cycle. And if that were to happen, it would take Helene off its peak before landfall. That's what we cross our fingers for now at this point, for not only the Big Bend, but much of northwest Florida, Lake City, Waycross, much of Georgia, because this is a powerful hurricane that's going to move inland very fast, and so the inland impacts are going to be great. And look at the wobbles in the eye. Now a little wobble to the east, but then it kind of corrects itself and goes back a little to the northwest. So the net movement is to the north-northeast, and there's Tampa now in those eastern bands of Helene. And we emphasize how narrow that cone is, but how widespread the wind damage is potentially going to be, and this really shows it nicely. A very narrow cone, but a very wide area of wind that extends all the way to the western Atlantic. So don't get too focused on that cone and think, oh, I'm okay, I'm not in the cone, because we still will see high winds and a tornado threat. And look at all the heavy rain from Florida, northward, all the way up into Tennessee Valley, where epic rains are forecast. The tornado threat is real through this evening in the middle of the night. Tornado watches are in effect. Remember, if you hear a large, loud roar, and the power goes out, you have seconds to react to a possible tornado. And here are those bands that are moving through Duval and metro area right now, moving quickly to north and northwest. No tornado warnings in effect, but quickly a tornado could develop in this pattern. Hilliard at 6:33, Yulee at 6:41, moving through Nocatee, headed into Ponte Vedra, Atlantic Beach at 6:35, Bay Meadows at 6:36. And then we have the bands over western Florida that'll move in later this evening and overnight, potentially producing damaging winds and some tornadoes, Corey.
Yeah, and that's why we got to keep an eye out, Mike, even into what we consider strange times of the day. We're talking later tonight and early tomorrow morning. There's 7 p.m. You see most of the rain is near and west of Lake City, Valdosta, and Waycross. We may still have bands of showers that'll be pivoting near our coast or very near I-95. And by 8 p.m., those showers approach I-10. These will be locally heavy downpours of rain. There will be some gusty winds in there as well. Here's 11 p.m. You see this line of the color? we got to watch that very carefully. Those could be tornado producers, even toward Lake City. You see, there is the eye wall, and the eye wall may get close to Lake City. In Suwannee County, Columbia County, Hamilton County, there could be some tornadic activity, especially on the northeast side of the eye wall as well. By midnight tonight, there's still bands. These could be tornado producers as well. And then into the early morning hours, through about 2 to 3 a.m., that's where we're watching for that tornado risk. And then it's done. Mike, it's going to cut off eventually, and then we have some pretty nice weather in store after Helene.
Yeah, TGIF, which people are looking forward to at this point. Sunshine breaks out, we're around 90 degrees, and then a pretty decent weekend with just an isolated brief shower. But again, Helene now a Category 4 hurricane. All the latest at actionnewsjax.com, and for free, download that handy-dandy First Alert Weather app. We'll be back after just a short break.
Action News. When we started Warby Parker, we just sold glasses, and only online. But people liked them. A lot. So we offered more things, like sunglasses and contacts. And then we thought, what if we sold eyewear online and in stores? So we did that. And now we have stores in neighborhoods all over. There you can chat with friendly opticians and get eye exams from top-notch doctors. Now, no matter where you go, we've got your eyes covered.
It's more than a business. It's a relationship. We feel the same way. Local Solutions is your personal partner for all of your integrated marketing needs. Local Solutions, powered by Cox Media Group. Strategic, trusted solutions.
Stay tuned for a special free offer from Flash Force Tactical Flashlight. With its powerful telescopic zoom, the Flash Force Tactical Flashlight gives you a super bright light visible at a distance of over 2,000 meters. With 7 useful modes, plus a USB rechargeable battery, the Flash Force Tactical Flashlight is always ready to light up the night. And if you scan the code on your screen and order right now, we'll send you a second Flash Force Tactical Flashlight absolutely free. Hurry, this is a limited time offer. Scan the code on your screen to order now.
Say hello to the Cobb Gobbler, the effortless corn stripper. That's cream of the crop. With its ergonomic design, peeling corn has never been easier. Crafted from solid, rust-proof stainless steel, the Cobb Gobbler is built to last.
I love the Cobb Gobbler. Totally changed my salad game.
I used my Cobb Gobbler so much I bought 3 more. It shucks great.
Elevate any dish with freshly shucked corn. It's quick, simple to use, and easy to clean. Scan the code for an exclusive discount.
We all love recipes with garlic, but trying to use an awkward garlic press makes a smelly mess. Introducing the Great Garlic, your ultimate kitchen companion for effortlessly crushing garlic to perfection. Just place a peeled clove of garlic under the grate, rock it back and forth, and say goodbye to tedious chopping and messy mincing. The Great Garlic ensures consistent results every time. Scan the code on your screen to order your Great Garlic today. This is a limited time offer, so scan now and find out for yourself just how great the Great Garlic is.
If you use a pen, the Pen Tool Pro is a must-have multifunction creative gadget, perfect for every workspace.
It has a ruler, level, screw bit, ballpoint pen, and a stylus for touchscreen devices.
5 functional tools, all in one convenient place. A must-have for any creator.
From concept to creation, the Pen Tool Pro is your versatile companion, simplifying your workflow, putting the focus on what truly matters, your creativity. Scan the code to order the Pen Tool Pro while supplies last.
Scan the code on your screen right now to get your free offer from AutoVac, the handheld vacuum for cars and trucks. Keeping your vehicle's interior clean can be such a hassle. Big Vac
as well are closed tomorrow because of the storm, but St. Johns County plans on being back to normal tomorrow. As of now, the plan for everyone is to be open on Monday. Action News Jax continues at 6:30 on Fox 30.
As we continue our coverage of Hurricane Helene, we will be right back.
Stay tuned for a special free offer.
If we weren't proud of the craftsmanship and level of detail that go into every pair of Warby Parker glasses, well, we probably wouldn't show you how they're made. Including this part, which is our favorite. Wow. And this is also great. Each pair comes standard with lenses that are scratch resistant, anti-reflective, and UV protective. Try 5 pairs for free at warbyparker.com.
Stay tuned for a special free offer from Flash Force Tactical Flashlight. With its powerful telescopic zoom, the Flash Force Tactical Flashlight gives you a super bright light visible at a distance of over 2,000 meters. With 7 useful modes, plus a USB rechargeable battery, the Flash Force Tactical Flashlight is always ready to light up the night. And if you scan the code on your screen and order right now, we'll send you a second Flash Force Tactical Flashlight absolutely free. Hurry, this is a limited time offer. Scan the code on your screen to order now.
Say hello to the Cobb Gobbler, the effortless corn stripper. That's cream of the crop. With its ergonomic design, peeling corn has never been easier. Crafted from solid, rust-proof stainless steel, the Cobb Gobbler is built to last.
I love the Cobb Gobbler. Totally changed my salad game.
I used my Cobb Gobbler so much I bought 3 more. It shucks great.
Elevate any dish with freshly shucked corn. It's quick, simple to use, and easy to clean. Scan the code for an exclusive discount.
We all love recipes with garlic, but trying to use an awkward garlic press makes a smelly mess. Introducing the Great Garlic, your ultimate kitchen companion for effortlessly crushing garlic to perfection. Just place a peeled clove of garlic under the grate, rock it back and forth, and say goodbye to tedious chopping and messy mincing. The Great Garlic ensures consistent results every time. Scan the code on your screen to order your Great Garlic today. This is a limited time offer, so scan now and find out for yourself just how great the Great Garlic is.
If you use a pen, the Pen Tool Pro is a must-have multifunction creative gadget, perfect for every workspace.
It has a ruler, level, screw bit, ballpoint pen, and a stylus for touchscreen devices.
5 functional tools, all in one convenient place. A must-have for any creator.
From concept to creation, the Pen Tool Pro is your versatile companion, simplifying your workflow, putting the focus on what truly matters, your creativity. Scan the code to order the Pen Tool Pro while supplies last.
Scan the code on your screen right now to get your free offer from AutoVac, the handheld vacuum for cars and trucks. Keeping your vehicle's interior clean can be such a hassle. Big vacuums on wheels are impossible to use for quick jobs, and professional detailing is time-consuming and expensive. But now, there's the AutoVac, the handheld vacuum for cars and trucks that makes vehicle interior cleanup quick and easy. The AutoVac's powerful suction handle.
Intensification cycle this afternoon, that was our fear all along. Kind of struggled, kind of wobbled, kind of hobbled the last few days. This is a classic late season hurricane in the Caribbean into the Gulf of Mexico. We've seen it with Michael in 2018, to some extent Idalia, although it was off its peak when it hit Florida. Another big hit for the Big Bend.
One of the ways I've heard you describe these things is sometimes they can just kind of turn into a machine where they operate and continue on in their state. You know, Helene has been strengthening. If it keeps doing that, that's really bad news. We may have an eye wall replacement cycle that at least weakens the blow a bit.
Hopefully takes it off its peak, although if there's an eye wall replacement cycle, it's not happening anytime real soon.
Right.
But that's okay, because if it happens a little later on, it's a little weaker as it's approaching Florida. We don't know for sure that that's going to happen. It's impossible to predict eye wall replacement cycles and timing-wise until it's actually in the process of happening. But look at that satellite show here in video as that eye wraps up and heavy storms wrap around its center. Goodness gracious, that's a powerful hurricane moving north-northeastbound quickly, 23 miles per hour. That's another situation you don't want, is a fast-moving hurricane as it approaches land. Now, closer to home, we have already had some lead bands of showers and a few storms moving quickly to the north and northwest. Burst of rain, you get some wind gusts, and we have had a couple of isolated tornado warnings. There are no tornado warnings in effect right now, but that's kind of a suspicious one at Bay Meadows and I-95 that may at least be producing some pretty decent wind. That's pushed north out of Nocatee, moving across Duval County, through Nassau County, headed into southern and southeastern portions of Georgia as well, and then even more offshore. Now we'll get a little bit of a break, and then more approaches from the west. This is a little bit more directly associated with Helene, and of course that will become even more common and more widespread as the look at the lightning around that eye. Again, an indication of a very intense hurricane. St. Augustine in the rain and wind right now, although the heaviest rain for the moment has shifted just a bit north of St. Augustine, Corey.
Yeah, let's go county by county, Mike, with that forecast. Let's start in Clay County. We have winds 30 to 40 miles per hour, gusts 50 plus, 1 to 2 inches of rain with an isolated tornado from Orange Park to Green Cove, Penny Farms, and Keystone Heights. Up into Nassau County, where we have some bursts of heavy rain now, at storm surge along the coast in the Amelia River, around 1 to 3 feet. Winds 30 to 40 miles per hour, gusts 50 plus with 1 to 2 inches of rain and an isolated tornado. Into Baker County, those winds will be a little higher. 50 to 60 mile per hour winds, gusts 65 plus, 2 to 4 inches of rain. There may be a little bit heavier rain amounts, especially farther to the west, out towards Sanderson and Olustee. We can't rule out an isolated tornado. And into Columbia County, the winds will be a little bit higher, closer to the center of Helene. The sustained winds will be 55 to 65. Gusts will be 75 plus. The rain will be a little bit heavier as well, 3 to 5 inches of rain, in some case a little more, and an isolated tornado. Then into Union County, 50 to 60 mile per hour winds, gusts 70 plus, 2 to 4 plus inches of rain with an isolated tornado. And Bradford County, 40 to 50 mile per hour winds, gusts 55 plus, 1 to 3 inches of rain. Some neighborhoods may get a little more, and an isolated tornado. That tornado threat continues into tonight and even early tomorrow morning. We're going to time out that rain hour by hour. And when the sun comes out, we need it. That's in the First Alert 7-day forecast.
All right, well, a little over 30 minutes ago, Florida Governor Ron DeSantis gave an update on the state's response to Helene. He is in Tallahassee.
That's right, and he says some people in Florida will need to be prepared to lose power at some point.
Make sure your phones are charged. Make sure you have what you need to be able to get through a period of time where you're going to have an interruption in power if you've decided to hunker down. Once we start to get the real nasty conditions, don't at that point go on the roadways. That is very hazardous. That does produce fatalities when people do that in the middle of the storm.
And speaking of nasty conditions, Lake City is expected to get the worst of it in our area. Lake City, about a 3-hour drive from where Helene is set to make landfall in Florida's Big Bend. Action Jack's Jake Stofan is there. And Jake, you're bracing for impact in Lake City.
Well, right now we're working to get an update from Columbia County officials outside here at the EOC locally, especially given that this storm has continued to move a little more easterly than originally expected. But in terms of local conditions right now, we've gotten a little bit of rain over the last few hours, but in terms of wind, not a whole lot. You can see on this anemometer right now, 4.4 mile per hour for 3.8, and we're not seeing a whole lot over 10, but obviously don't let that fool you. Things are going to get worse as we progress later into the night. And some residents we've spoken with today say they're getting a lot more nervous, especially as they see this track shift. Emergency response vehicles and line crews are staged around Lake City in preparation for Helene's arrival. County officials met this morning and took particular notice of Helene's eastward movement overnight, explaining impacts could be greater than first anticipated. We caught up with Marie Koblenz, who told us she has serious concerns for the safety of the people living in the mobile home park she operates. She says she's closely watching the forecast and even considering seeking shelter outside of the park herself. What is your biggest concern?
That the roofs will be blown off and somebody with the children might be hurt.
How many people would you say live in your mobile home park?
Probably about 70.
70? Do you know if any of them are going to shelters, or what's kind of been your advice to them?
I've been asking them, to clean everything up and take every precaution they can to leave if at all possible.
There are 5 storm shelters open here in Columbia County, as well as 1 for pets. You can find a full list of the locations on actionnewsjax.com, and there are still a few hours if you want to make that decision to get out of your home and get into one of those safer shelters. For local coverage you can count on live in Lake City, I'm Jake Stofan, Action News Jax.
And officials with the city of Waycross are preparing for the worst of Hurricane Helene. Action Jack's Annette Gutierrez is there. Annette, what are you seeing right now?
Well, Ben, in just the last 5 minutes, I started to feel some rain. I had to put my rain jacket on because we're now starting to feel the effects of Helene on its way. And we've been walking around, driving around to several businesses here in Waycross, and people are boarding up in their own former fashion. Here at Lowe's, they have put up some wooden pallets of 2x4s to protect from any wind shear going into those glass doors. And across the street at Walmart, we actually saw some cardboard makeshift barriers. And I actually wanted to show you the tree. You can see that that there's not much of a breeze happening, but now we are starting to feel that rain, and our first alert weather team says that Waycross is expecting to get some pretty significant impact from high winds to potential tornadoes. They said that 65 mile to 75 mile per hour wind gusts are what we could expect to see tonight and into the morning. So of course you want to prepare for that. County officials are encouraging you to stay put. We may see some power outages, and if those winds get to 35 miles per hour, first responders will not be able to come help you. So that's why county officials are telling you, of course, to stay indoors and stay prepared. But of course, you want to download that First Alert Weather app so that you can get all of the alerts up to date, and stay with Action News Jax for the First Alert Weather updates. But for now, for local coverage, you can count on reporting live in Waycross. Annette Gutierrez, Action News Jax.
And today, President Joe Biden declared a state of emergency for Georgia. Now, it makes more counties eligible for direct federal assistance. Locally, that includes Camden, Glenn, Ware, and Charlton counties. And at the state level, Governor Kemp says they've got thousands of workers on standby.
They have roughly 10,000 linemen deployed and ready to go as soon as the storm passes and the winds die down enough that it is safe for them to work.
The governor says he expects impacts in every county all across Georgia.
Our live team coverage continues with Action News Jax' Emily Turner. She's in Northwest Jacksonville, where a tree came down.
Yeah, I mean, you can see the remainder of the tree, or at least the top of it, right here behind me. They had to cut it, get it out of the road, and move it. In the meantime, that tree did some pretty significant damage to a power line right there behind me. Not just the power line itself, leaving about 50 customers without power, but the power pole also broke in half, and you can see they've got the replacement in the ground there as they're trying to switch the power from the old one to the new one, and that's going to take some time, more time than simply just replacing the line. The tree itself was over here, and you can see what's left of the bottom of it. It came up at the roots, looks like it was a little bit rotted there, but it, at the base, was grown into another oak tree, the one that's right next to it that's still standing. And if you pan up, you can see it's leaning pretty significantly over to the left and over those power lines. So the concern here is that as this wind starts to really creep up and ramp up, that may then undo all of the work that these guys right here behind me and ladies are doing to try and get the power restored. They're working really hard to get it done, and hopefully that tree stays put for now. But in the meantime, they're trying to get this done as quickly as possible. But we'll be roaming around town throughout the night to keep you up to date on the very latest when it comes to damage and issues in Jacksonville. But for now, we are live in Northwest Jacksonville. Emily Turner, Action News Jax.
At least 24 shelters are now open across Northeast Florida to help people needing a place to ride out the storm. And this map shows you how many shelters each county has. All of our local counties do have shelter options for people with disabilities. You can find a full list of the shelters that are open in your county by going to actionnewsjax.com. And Florida's Emergency Management Division says it is giving people free rides to storm shelters. The agency partnering with Uber to make this happen. You can get a free ride in counties under a state of emergency, which includes all of Northeast Florida right now. To get a free ride, you do need to download the Uber app and then use the promo code Helene Relief. It covers trips up to $35 to and from a shelter.
I'm Action News Jax, Chief Meteorologist Mike Burrish. We have some initial bands, not really directly associated with Helene yet, but still heavy and kind of look pretty impressive when they move through your neighborhood. Headed northbound at the moment, but the meat, if you will, of Helene is still off to the west and southwest. We have to deal with that later this evening and overnight. Corey and I will time it out for you in the First Alert forecast after the break.
And right now, Helene making its impact felt in Key West. The live look at the southernmost point, you see the waves crashing. The good news is no one's there taking pictures like usual, but Helene making its impact felt tonight.
I'm Sheriff Morris Young. Illicit marijuana laced with illegal drugs like fentanyl have destroyed lives. I know because I've seen it firsthand. Amendment 3 will save lives by making marijuana safe, regulated, and lab tested. Amendment 3 will protect our community from dangerous illegal drugs while allowing law enforcement to focus on serious crimes. Vote yes on Amendment 3, the smarter and safer choice for Florida. I'm Sheriff Morris Young. Illicit marijuana laced with illegal drugs like fentanyl have destroyed lives. I know because I've seen it firsthand. Amendment 3 will save lives by making marijuana safe, regulated, and lab tested. Amendment 3 will protect our community from dangerous illegal drugs while allowing law enforcement to focus on serious crimes. Vote yes on Amendment 3, the smarter and safer choice for Florida.
If we weren't proud of the craftsmanship and level of detail that go into every pair of Warby Parker glasses, well, we probably wouldn't show you how they're made, including this part, which is our favorite. Wow. And this is also great. For every pair of glasses or sunglasses sold, a pair of glasses is distributed to someone in need. Try 5 pairs for free at warbyparker.com.
It's more than a business. It's a relationship. We feel the same way. Local Solutions is your personal partner for all of your integrated marketing needs. Local Solutions powered by Cox Media Group. Strategic, trusted solutions.
Stay tuned for a special free offer from Flash Force Tactical Flashlight. With its powerful telescopic zoom, the Flash Force Tactical Flashlight gives you a super bright light visible at a distance of over 2,000 meters. With 7 useful modes, plus a USB rechargeable battery, the Flash Force Tactical Flashlight is always ready to light up the night. And if you scan the code on your screen and order right now, we'll send you a second Flash Force Tactical Flashlight absolutely free. Hurry, this is a limited time offer. Scan the code on your screen to order now.
Say hello to the Cobb Gobbler, the effortless corn stripper. That's cream of the crop. With its ergonomic design, peeling corn has never been easier. Crafted from solid, rust-proof stainless steel, the Cobb Gobbler is built to last.
I love the Cobb Gobbler. Totally changed my salad game.
I used my Cobb Gobbler so much I bought 3 more. It shucks great.
Elevate any dish with freshly shucked corn. It's quick, simple to use, and easy to clean. Scan the code for an exclusive discount.
We all love recipes with garlic.
International Airport. The airport is open, it's operational, but airlines are canceling some flights because of Helene. So you want to check with your airline for the latest. And here's a look at FlightAware. Delays today, 23. Cancellations showing 62. So again, for the most up-to-date flight information, check your itinerary with your airline and also for rebooking options.
And Florida's Attorney General Ashley Moody already reporting that people are complaining about price gouging.
Yeah, AG Moody says her office has gotten complaints about fuel, water, and hotel rooms. And she says any businesses caught overcharging consumers can face fines.
If those prices are jacked up, we need you to let us know. We've already stopped some of these price increases in real time. That lets everybody get the supplies they need and be able to afford them.
People who feel prices on essential items that have been drastically increased in the past few days can contact the price gouging hotline at 1-866-9-NO-SCAM. We also have that website on our website, actionnewsjacks.com.
The Red Cross sent hundreds of blood products to Florida to help those impacted by Hurricane Helene. Now, they urge everyone in unaffected areas to donate blood and platelets. Now, if you can donate, go to actionnewsjacks.com and click the action button.
Ahead of Hurricane Helene, scientists with the U.S. Geological Survey are deploying 13 wave sensors between Venice and Panama City. And here's some pictures showing the scientists installing the sensors all along the coast. Action News Jack's First Alert Chief Meteorologist Mike Burrish back with us. And Mike, those sensors are going to measure water levels and give some insight on wave height and even frequency.
Right, pretty interesting. And it ought to be some pretty amazing data here over the next 24 hours. In fact, I posted about that in the Burrish blog just last night. So there's a link to their work and then even a link to where you can find the map. Most of those sensors are going to be in the Big Bend and then along the West Coast. And boy, those numbers are going up quickly now and will be especially high this evening and overnight. And then that data will be stored and will be shared with you and the rest of us and see what kind of surge occurred and help us with research for forecasting future tropical storms and hurricanes. Now, this is a wide view of current wave heights, not too far from the hurricane, 22 feet, but wouldn't be surprised if there's some 30, 40, 50 footers here, especially east and southeast of the circulation of Helene. In fact, you see a bright orange there. We're missing the data, but it's likely that's 30 feet plus. On the other side of the state, far removed from Helene, relatively so, 6 to 9 feet at our beaches, that's not a picnic in the water, obviously, but it's not as near as severe as the West Coast. So Hurricane Helene now has gone Category 4 within the last 30 minutes. That's not a surprise. Continuing to move steadily north-northeast and increasing that forward speed at about 23 miles per hour. It'll be speeding right into the Big Bend and then into Georgia. Once into Georgia, it then will be slowing down, and that becomes a problem in itself too. But a really well-defined eye. It's a powerful hurricane, kind of thing you don't want to see and that we feared could happen, and indeed is. Very narrow cone just means a high confidence forecast heads up into Georgia, and then it begins to slow. And as it just kind of lollygags over Tennessee, tons of rain here in parts of the Appalachians and the Tennessee Valley, unfortunately. Helene's wind history, we'll watch the steady increase here with the rapid intensification cycle this afternoon. Kind of steady state, slowly increasing through yesterday and last evening. Hit 100-mile-per-hour winds early this morning, then became a Cat 2, and then bang, Cat 4. Late this afternoon with 130-mile-per-hour sustained winds estimated by Hurricane Hunter aircraft. And we do have some really distant bands that are producing heavy rain now at the International Airport, have moved through a good part of Duval County. Some of these can quickly rotate, although are not at the moment. We are getting moderate flood stage now, moderate flooding in the St. Johns River at the Main Street Bridge. Not unexpected. I talked about this. South winds blowing right up the river. It's combined with some heavy rain, the high tide, and so there is a fair amount of flooding now occurring near the downtown area. It will subside some after high tide, but we'll also still have the strong south winds and the approach of Helene. This heavy band is headed into the International Airport at 6:40, Yulee at 6:48, St. Mary's at 7:01, Kingsland at 7:05, and heavy rain will make its way up to the Nahunta, Waycross, Brunswick, and the rest of the bands are kind of offshore, and we catch a little bit of a break thereafter before things ramp up near a little bit after 9 o'clock tonight, Corey, and then through a good part of the rest of the night.
Yeah, that's right, Mike. We got to stay weather aware. You got to have a way to receive severe weather information into early tomorrow morning, and then we will start to get rid of the rain and impacts. Let's go county by county. We'll start in Glenn County, Jekyll Island, Brunswick, St. Simons Island, Dock Junction, Thalman. Surge will be about 2 to 3 feet along the coast. 40 to 50 mile per hour winds, gusts 60 plus, with that rainfall around 2 to 3 inches, in some cases a little more, and an isolated tornado. In Camden County, that surge is also 2 to 3 feet, winds 40 to 50, gusts 60 plus, with rain 2 to 3 inches and an isolated tornado from Kings Bay Base to Kingsland and Woodbine. In Pierce County, Bristol, Blackshear, Patterson, the winds will be a little higher, gusting up to about 70 or in some cases a little higher, rain around 2 to 4 plus inches, and then an isolated tornado. Very similar story in Brantley County as well. From Hoboken to Nahunta to Atkinson, 45 to 55 mile per hour winds, gusts 60 plus, 2 to 4 plus inches of rain and an isolated tornado. Charlton County, including Folkestone and St. George, 40 to 50 mile per hour winds, gusts 60 plus, 2 to 4 inches of rain and an isolated tornado. And then in Ware County, this is where we could see the highest winds, not only Waycross, but also Lake City in Columbia County in Northeast Florida. Gusts 70 plus miles per hour, rain 3 to 5 inches plus, and an isolated tornado. It looks like the heaviest rain is going to be focused well to the west of Highway 301 out toward I-75 as well. But Mike, after landfall, Helene is going to quickly move away.
And that's good news because the underside of Helene will literally disappear later tonight. Tomorrow's drier continental wraps around landfalling Helene. And once that happens, we'll see the strongest winds begin to slowly come down tomorrow, but it'll still be windy at sunrise. But it'll be done raining and storming, and we'll be dealing with the strong winds, recovery efforts, of course, especially north and west of Jacksonville where the impacts are going to be greatest. And then we break out into sunshine, and it soars to around 90 tomorrow, but at least with lower humidity and the winds slowly subsiding in the afternoon. Weekend's always in view in the first 7-day forecast. An isolated shower, but a lot of dry hours over the weekend. Pretty hot, upper 80s to near 90, but at least dipping into the upper 60s at night. Anybody with long-term power outages tomorrow through the weekend, you're going to have to deal with these hot temperatures in the afternoon. It will drop off a little bit milder at night over the weekend. Keep in mind that sunrise, it is about 7:20 to 25, and sunset's about 7:20 to 25. So that's when you're going to have a little bit of extra daylight when you have no power at all. And then into next week, pretty hot temperatures again during the day, but a little bit milder at night. There's some other tropical activity out there, by the way, that we're not touching on right now. You can get up to date on that. In Talking the Tropics with Mike at actionnewsjax.com, our free First Alert weather app, and all the latest weather information at actionnewsjax.com.
And power outages are expected because of Helene. How to keep yourself safe if you use a generator.
What to Watch is brought to you by Closets by Design. Imagine your home completely organized.
If we weren't proud of the craftsmanship and level of detail that go into every pair of Warby Parker glasses, well, we probably wouldn't show you how they're made, including this part, which is our favorite. Wow. And this is also great. Each pair comes standard with lenses that are scratch-resistant, anti-reflective, and UV protective. Try 5 pairs for free at warbyparker.com.
It's more than a business. It's a relationship. We feel the same way. Local Solutions is your personal partner for all of your integrated marketing needs. Local Solutions powered by Cox Media Group. Strategic, trusted solutions.
Stay tuned for a special free offer from Flash Force Tactical Flashlight. With its powerful telescopic zoom, the Flash Force Tactical Flashlight gives you a super bright light visible at a distance of over 2,000 meters. With 7 useful modes, plus a USB rechargeable battery, the Flash Force Tactical Flashlight is always ready to light up the night. And if you scan the code on your screen and order right now, we'll send you a second Flash Force Tactical Flashlight absolutely free. Hurry, this is a limited time offer. Scan the code on your screen to order now.
Say hello to the Cobb Gobbler, the effortless corn stripper. That's cream of the crop. With its ergonomic design, peeling corn has never been easier. Crafted from solid, rust-proof stainless steel, the Cobb Gobbler is built to last.
I love the Cobb Gobbler. Totally changed my salad game.
I used my Cobb Gobbler so much I bought 3 more. It shucks great.
Elevate any dish with freshly shucked corn. It's quick, simple to use, and easy to clean. Scan the code for an exclusive discount.
We all love recipes with garlic, but trying to use an awkward garlic press makes a smelly mess. Introducing the Great Garlic, your ultimate kitchen companion for effortlessly crushing garlic to perfection. Just place a peeled clove of garlic under the grate, rock it back and forth, and say goodbye to tedious chopping and messy mincing. The Great Garlic ensures consistent results every time. Scan the code on your screen to order your Great Garlic today. This is a limited time offer, so scan now and find out for yourself just how great the Great Garlic is.
If you use a pen, the Pen Tool Pro is a must-have multifunction creative gadget, perfect for every workspace.
It has a ruler, level, screw bit, ballpoint pen, and a stylus for touchscreen devices.
5 functional tools, all in one convenient place. A must-have for any creator.
From concept to creation, the Pen Tool Pro is your versatile companion, simplifying your workflow, putting the focus on what truly matters, your creativity. Scan the code to order the Pen Tool Pro while supplies last.
Scan the code on your screen right. Scan the code on your screen now to get the auto vac.
Down power lines can mean outages for thousands across the areas that are affected. Here's some do's and don'ts if you do have to use your portable generator. You do want to run your machine a few times a year just to make sure it's working. Do not place a running generator inside of your home or garage. Something else that you do want to make sure you have plenty of fresh fuel, and also do not store that fuel in your home or near any fire hazards. Do check your oil and use heavy-duty, properly grounded extension cords. Do not exceed the wattage of your generator's capacity.
All right, another live look back at Key West and the southernmost point. You know, we showed you about 5-10 minutes ago. No one was there as the waves are crashing from Helene. Well, now a few people have shown up in swimming trunks, making their presence felt there again. A live look, something we certainly do not recommend there or even in our area as Helene approaches. And First Alert Weather Team is staying on top of Helene. Anytime there's a tornado warning or any other threatening weather that's coming our way, of course, they told us about a tornado warning in St. Johns County about half an hour, 45 minutes ago. Again, the First Alert Weather Team staying on top of everything with Hurricane Helene.
And remember to stay with Action News. Jacks are going to be with you throughout the night, tracking Helene.